Now, out here in India, on one hand, if you consider the entry-level 150 to 160cc performance-oriented motorcycles, well, they are meant to be engaging, agile, and yeah, very entertaining. And then on the other hand, if you consider CVT scooters, now they are meant to have or offer you that little sense of practicality and convenience as well. And if you try to merge both those kind of worlds together, you come up with a scooter like this, which is meant to give you the best of both worlds. This is the Xoom 160 from Hero Motocorp. Hero have taken their own sweet time coming out with this one because we first got a glimpse of the scooter in its pre-production form at the EICMA a couple of years ago. Then we got a better taste of it, well, the production form earlier this year, at the beginning of the year at the Auto Expo in Jan. And now finally we are getting a chance to get our hands on it and tell you what it's all about. Now this is a maxi-style scooter. We've seen this kind of form from the Yamaha Aerox 155. The Xoom 160 has, well, what we've come to know as the traditional kind of setup as far as maxi-style scooters go. So you have chunky, rather large 14-inch wheels, alloy wheels at both ends. This one comes draped with button pattern tires, telescopic fork up front, twin shocks at the rear, fairly decent amount of travel as well on the units. You have 97 mm of travel at the front, 94 at the rear with the twin springs. Now, what sets this one apart aesthetically is the fact that this scooter has a very adventure toury kind of styling, which has not been seen before as of now in this particular segment. So it has a split headlamp unit, LED. Your indicators, well, they are halogen units, and as a proper maxi-style scooter, you have a rather large seat, very accommodating looking, and of course you have the petrol, your reservoir, in the center, in the tunnel between your legs. Now the Xoom 160 is more of it's one of those scooters where you'll rather swing a leg over than actually swing a leg through or put your leg through it. So it's not exactly a step through, very nice looking overall. The fit and finish is quite nice as well. Now when it comes to features, well, the Xoom 160 isn't as feature packed as something like the NTORQ 150, but yeah, there is a decent amount of tech in there as well, at least as far as what you'd actually want to use on the road. So this one comes with keyless ignition, standard affair. You have a USB charging port, there's a glove box. In terms of riding aids, you just have ABS on there. There's no traction control, single channel ABS on the 318 mm disc up front. That's a drum at the rear, so there's no question of dual channel ABS. And in terms of the screen, now you have a pretty simplistic, rather dated looking LCD screen, but there is a good amount of data for you to toggle through and actually get into on the go. So you have 2 trip meters, you have a distance to empty, an average consumption rate, and of course, this being a Hero in this modern day and age, it does come with Hero's i3S technology, which is their intelligent start-stop tech. So that should save you a bit of money in terms of fuel consumption when you come to a halt at a traffic stop. Now when it comes to the scooter seating, you have, as you can see, a one-piece seat, rather large and accommodating, and the seat height is rated at around 787 mm off the ground. Well, it's fairly easy to get astride the scooter, swing a leg over, swing a leg through. It's fairly simple, and yeah, you have 2 positions to actually set your feet. If you're on the city, you can keep your feet in this position, and once you actually get down to the highway and you feel like cruising, well, you have a rather more relaxed foot position that you can assume. That's a 7-liter tank between your legs, and with the keyless ignition, it's as simple as that. Getting the fuel filler open and popping in your gas. Now, under the seat as well, you have a fairly decent storage space, around 22 liters, and there's a button for that to just pop open. And the nice part is the key as well. Well, you have a remote locking mechanism or a remote boot release mechanism for the scooter as well. And my backpack with all my gear, whatever rain gear I've carried, well, it fits in pretty decently in the scooter. Now, if you plan on carrying a full-size helmet, well, that is not really going to fit in there very comfortably, but a half-face helmet should be quite manageable with this one. Now, this is the first time that Hero have actually come out with a maxi-style scooter, and they've done a pretty stellar job at it actually, because not only in terms of aesthetic wise, I mean, it looks pretty nice. The fit and finish, the level of quality also is quite good and commendable given its current pricing, and a good amount of thought process and good amount of tech in there as well. But especially when you consider this new engine. Now, this is the first time that Hero have come out with a 160cc, which is essentially a 156cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled motor. We've not seen this kind of motor on a Hero vehicle before, but this new motor, it makes a little over 14.5 PS of max power, 14 Nm of max torque, and it is spread very linearly and nicely across the power band right from the get-go. Lower down the power band in city speeds, it has a good amount of shove to it. It does feel like a nice substantial scooter to ride, so that's a really nice thing about it. And yeah, it has the power to back it up actually as well, so that's really reassuring once you actually get down to riding it. And of course, 60 kilometers per hour and even 80 kilometers per hour, it just feels like this thing could do it all day. Now this motor feels very refined and nice, very smooth on the go, and not a lot of idle chatter as well with this particular unit when it comes to the ride and handling dynamics. Now this is a fairly long wheelbase scooter. It is a maxi-style scooter, so it's not going to be as agile even with those 14-inch wheels on there. Even given its current form, it is a very easy scooter to get used to, and once you're out on the road, given any speeds actually, whether you're traveling in the city or out on the highway, you won't feel the flickability that you would have with a scooter of a smaller size or even 12-inch wheels. But then what really stands out is, well, the highway stability. Well, that is a real key aspect about having 14-inch wheels and the wheelbase that this kind of scooter comes with. Now the suspension units on here, well, they aren't as stiffly set up as they are on, say, something like the Yamaha Aerox, but they are in a good kind of space where it is not as stiff, but it is pliant enough to take on bumps at slow speed as well. So it gives you that assurance of high-speed stability as well as low speed. Well, that comfort level is also there with this one. So that is really nice to have. The riding posture, the riding stance that you have to have, that this scooter makes you assume, is very comfortable on the go. It really feels like, although I haven't really ridden this scooter for a long time out here today on this first ride experience, but yeah, it feels like you can actually ride this scooter for a decent amount of saddle time.
Now, if you had to ask me for a list of things that I would change about the Xoom 160 in its current form, I would have to say, for starters, the indicators and the dash. Now, halogen bulbs and that LCD instrumentation readout don't exude, well, that premium feel in this day and age. And that's what I'd like to have from a maxi scooter that I'm paying a little extra for. Next would be the fit and finish on bits like the brake lock, where the paint already seemed to be peeling off, and that didn't come across as very nice. And finally, there's things like the indicator stalks. Well, because they seem to wobble quite a bit every time I hit a bump, even the little ones, and we know what happens to these things over time. Now, I know I might get a little flack for saying this out loud because it is a performance-focused maxi scooter at the end of the day, but maybe the Xoom 160 suspension could have been a little softer to take on bumps in a way the scooter's ADV styling would essentially imply. But if you can work your way past all these niggles, you will be left with an impressive scooter nonetheless.
Now, to sum things up out here or with the Xoom 160, now I have been waiting to get my hands on this scooter like many of you ever since, well, Hero actually put it out a couple of years ago at the EICMA in Milan. But yeah, now that I actually have, I am pretty impressed with the way it rides and handles. With all that the scooter has to offer in terms of performance, aesthetics, even functional features, and yeah, well thought of features in terms of convenience, like the 22-liter boot, the handle lock, the brake lock as well. Good amount of features in there as well. Now there is something that you will have to factor in if you actually consider getting yourself a Hero Xoom 160, and that is the fact that Hero is going to sell and service this particular scooter only at Hero Prima showrooms and service centers. So there are currently just about 100 of them around India, and Hero say that they are working on a plan to actually get more parts and get the scooter readily available for sale and service, well, at regular Hero dealerships and service centers as well. But you will have to watch out for that one. If you are in the market looking for a performance-focused maxi-style scooter that isn't as aggressive looking, but rather gives you the more adventure-y kind of aesthetic, this scooter really makes a lot of sense because with all that it has to offer, it is a well-rounded package, and yeah, it is going to give the Yamaha Aerox a good run for this money.